Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Travis. Today we're going to be working on the 62 Cadillac Coupe DeVille that hasn't ran in many decades. 4-door, hardtop, 390 cubic inch engine, Coupe DeVille. So we're going to go back in time to me a few days ago, actually picking up this car in Silver City, New Mexico. Is it in park?
It could be.
I don't think so.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah, get a little bit more. That wood. You don't really want to go any farther.
Sure. Yeah, I got a cheater bar.
Yeah, let's get a cheater bar.
All right.
Get some water if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Thank you. I would.
Dad had to get this while he was here. What is that, part of an old mining operation or what?
Yeah, it came out of a mining camp up here in the hills.
That's cool. I like that old, that wrought iron.
Well, what's interesting is this probably had a cast iron cauldron, and then so this was all wrought by hand, and then that rotted out, and they put a 55-gallon drum on it. So
Oh yeah, and they cut it?
yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
When people made things last,
It's got to look good.
you'll like it.
Yeah, it's got a look.
I knew I couldn't come up here without spending money.
Yeah, happens every time. So we got the 62 Cadillac home yesterday from Silver City, New Mexico. We got to get it off the trailer and put it underneath the carport to work on, but we got to get the 60L Camino out of the way, which is also a good opportunity to actually sort of continue where we left off on the last video, if you'll remember. We got this thing started, kinda, but we didn't get it running properly because I had to take off to go on vacation with Emily like that night, so I just didn't have the time to get it dialed in. So Dad has been messing with it for a little bit while I was gone, so you'll see it run and drive under its own power for the first time in like 30 years right now, hopefully. Need some 9/16.
You're started. Should be able to tell where it was. Put it back on where the line was.
Yeah. Nah, it needs to go up more. My side does. A little more. It's close. There you go. Yeah, this thing has absolutely no tranny fluid. Oh. Did you put some in it?
You did.
I did? Alright. Cool. I don't see any over here. It's hitting this. There. There, now it's missing it. Do it again. Is it getting gas? I hear something.
Like it.
So you notice how it's idling really good. Before, right at the end of the last video, we started, it started up and died, started up and died. Well, we thought it might be a vacuum leak, and we checked on the back of the carburetor. You know how they have those big plugs in the back of the carburetors? Well, it had a plug in it, so we were like, I don't know, we're kind of at a loss. Well, once I left for vacation, Dad figured out there was a big vacuum leak on the throttle, the adapter plate. I'll show you. Right here. Big old vacuum leak. See, I felt this, and I said, what the heck, we're good. But there was one here. So once Dad found that and plugged it up, I mean, that was it. It ran perfect after that. Is it in neutral? Is it in neutral? Oh. I'm gonna check the tranny fluid. It, I saw it.
We idled up just a hair.
Idled up? Alright, let me just do that. More? Good, sounds good. Needs an exhaust, but sounds good. It's a good looking car, man. Sleek lines. We got room on this side. No, that way. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming back a little. Now that it's finally where it should be, let's take a look around this thing, you know, see what kind of condition it's in, see what we got, what we don't got, and just kind of assess the vehicle. But I mean, you know, honestly, I love how complete it is. It's always what I look for. It's always what I love to see. Look at how straight the bumper is. It's not all rotted out on the bottom. This car is very clean as far as rust goes. You guys will see that. But, you know, look at the bumper, how straight it is, how rust-free it is. Look at the turn signal or fog lamp lenses are still in it. They're not busted. You know, stuff like this is the first to go. And by this time, they weren't glass. These are plastic. So it's even easier for them to break. So those are there. We got headlights. We have a T3 right here, which is cool. The other ones I don't think are T3s. Oh, that one is, I can tell. The other one is not. The high beams, I think these are the high beams maybe. These are something else, General Electrics. But look at the grill is all there. Not one of the fins is bent. Has the Cadillac emblem on the grill. Just super, super clean. Has its hood emblems. Both of those are intact. I think these are turn signals. I'm pretty sure that's just really faded, but I think that's a turn signal. Up on the fender there. Let's see if I can get this thing up. Oh man, dang, I just broke that. Oh no. Oh well, dang it. Okay, well anyway, coming underneath the hood, see we got the horns, we have the wiring, we have the cross member brace here. Again, more wiring. Here it's just, you know, you can see how brittle it is sitting out in the desert. Just breaks off in your hand. Have the receiver dryer for the air conditioner. Here's the condenser for the air conditioner, the AC lines. This car did come with factory air. I think most Cadillacs did, but some didn't back in the day. It's an A6 compressor. The bearing's pretty... what is this? What are you doing? Either the bearing is kind of messed up or this wire is holding it. I don't know. They might have had that on there for a reason, but the compressor head is locked up. Oh, no. No, it's not. All right. Yeah, this is the A6. This is what they had after the A5. Let's see how much pounds it takes. It usually says right here, but it's faded off. It'll say how many pounds, refrigerant, R12, you know, some warning stuff, and then it'll be like X pounds of whatever. So after the A5 compressor in the 50s and they went to the A6, which is what this is, they used this for a long, long time. These were such good compressors. I think even Ford, correct me if I'm wrong, but another manufacturer used those because they were just so tough and so well built. Let's go over to my 56. I'll show you. Good thing we have this here because this is just kind of one generation behind that 62, and you can see a lot of the changes they made from one generation to the other. Here's the A6 compressor. Very big, very bulky. You can see right here the stickers that say whatever. And then this takes like something like 5 pounds of refrigerant or whatever. But yeah, extremely large compressor, very heavy, very overcomplicated. This is the first, I think, mass-produced car air conditioning they had, which was in the General Motors. Packard did have air conditioning technically before General Motors, but it was a weird system where there was no clutch and the air conditioner was being ran all the time. It didn't have, you know, an electric clutch to disengage it, so it was always running, and you were just basically, whether you turned the fan off or not was whether you were using it or not. So there was always a load on the motor. But I would say GM had the first perfected air conditioning because they bought Frigidaire. If you look at some old fridges, they say, you know, Frigidaire, a GM product. So anyway, little history on that. We have power steering right here. We got pretty dry, nothing in there. Ooh, this is cool. This is going to go in my little personal collection of doodads I keep from cars. Look at that, Texaco. This probably came from a service station, you know, because gas stations used to be service stations, and they probably bought this at a service station. Here's your pressure release. If you were trying to release the pressure before you took the cap off. Wow. I love that that says Texaco. I wonder if these are worth anything, you know what I mean? Like, because it's advertising and branding, but dry in there. Got a factory marking here. No upper radiator hose. Somebody was monkeying around in here, putting a hose on it. You can see a hose clamp there. Looks like an original AC fuel pump, and your glass bowl fuel filter. This, I think this is a carburetor. This is what the 650 Edelbrocks are modeled after. If you look, it's almost the same exact carburetor. I mean, the fuel and air mixture screws, the choke, where the main fuel inlet is. I mean, this is exactly the same as like a 650 Edelbrock. It's the same carburetor that's on that truck, but it's just branded Edelbrock, where this is branded Carter, I think, before they got bought out or something. See, we have all of our vacuum stuff, our vacuum diaphragms, and all the hoses are still on them, which is crazy. Still a little bit pliable there. But those vacuum diaphragms, I doubt they work. Those diaphragms in there always get dry rotted and bust, and then they leak vacuum. Got your blower motor for your heat and your air conditioner. Spark plug wires coming down. Everything seems to be intact. The rats did not get to this car very bad. You can see a little bit down there, but that's nothing. I mean, we've got these where they're level with crap, and you got to clean them out for half a day. So this is easy peasy. I believe this is a 390, so my 56 has a 365, and then that was not a very good motor. I can attest to that. It's just, they weren't very good. I'm just going to say that. And then when they went to the 390s, I don't know if 58 or 59 was the first year for that. I know the 59 Caddies had 390s. I don't know how long they used them, but I'm pretty sure this is a 390. I would be willing to bet. Power steering hoses. Cadillac was kind of on the forefront. I mean, pretty good. They had a dual reservoir, a master cylinder, power booster right there. Like the dual reservoir from the factory. That's cool, so you don't got to convert it and all that crap. It's already like that. This, I don't know what. This must be some kind of vacuum canister for holding vacuum, maybe. Yeah, because it's connected to the manifold. It's like some vacuum canister to hold excess vacuum, maybe. This looks like maybe an aftermarket windshield washer fluid holder, because I think the factory one would have went here if I'm not mistaken. Would have been glass and all that, and then it probably got busted or lost and somebody put a plastic one on there. Got our windshield wiper motor. I mean, it's complete. This is totally, gosh, looking at this, just so complete and untouched. It's going to be easier for us to deal with and work with without stuff missing and jacked up. One thing, you know, I kind of had to overlook was the front windshield being cracked. You know, there's no hole in it, but you're not supposed to drive around with a cracked windshield, but, you know, whatever. I mean, how good do you want them to be, right? They're 60 years old. All the other glass, okay, minus that one, all right. That one's no big deal because it's flat. The windshield's hard because it's curved. This is easy. So all the other glass, though, is good. Perfectly good, really. Coming inside, all the glass. You know, not bad. It's a four-door hard top, so no post in the middle. When all the windows are down, it gives it a pretty neat look. I know this is the factory interior. It's roached, obviously, you know. They had that cool pattern in there, that rich guy looking pattern. Really like that. Can't believe this is soft at all, because usually these are hard. You know, this foam gets hard, and when you sit on it, it crunches, and it turns to powder. You know, it just falls to the bottom. But have your air conditioning ducts, have your washer, your washer fluid button right here to spray it, and then your speed for your windshield wiper motors. Oh, is there a set screw that holds that in, or did I just break it? Oh, it's screwed on, I think. Yeah. Threads might be. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Headlights. All the stuff in here. Everything is there. This is just your dash light. It's taken apart for some reason. Maybe it didn't work. Got your radio. Got your selector, which is always... Yeah, these typically don't move the needle because there's like an actual thread that, you know, and then it gets so tough that this will turn, but the thread won't move because it's froze up here. So it's probably just spinning inside of itself. This works. Usually you can change the station with doing this if you need to. You get the battery going or whatever, and if this won't work, you can sort of use these selectors to, you know, help you move. Ultronic eye. This is a very cool, very, very neat to have. This is probably like a adjustment, you know, a sensitivity adjustment. I'm not going to break it. Ultronic eyes automatically dimmed your headlights when you were going down the road. Really neat design. I have one on my 56 that I had rebuilt, and it works. You know, when you oncoming headlights come at you close enough, it dims your headlights, and then when they pass, it puts your brights back on automatically. Really, really cool that they had that technology so early. Here's your clock, adjusters. Let's see. Speakers in there, Cadillac emblem, air conditioning vent, glove box. Have not opened this yet. Boom. All right, not too much in there. Brake pedal. Actually moves, but brakes don't work, obviously. Gas pedal is stuck, I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah, this was a very, very well optioned car. You can see here all the goodies. It's got, let's see, 6 power windows. Oh wow, this must be for the, probably the vent windows. That's cool. Power vent windows, power windows front and back. This is probably for your seat. Yeah, back, tilt. Yeah, it's like probably like a 6 or an 8-way power seat. And you got your remote controlled mirror. Power door locks. That's nifty. Wow, this was really like a doctor or a lawyer's car. So I have the original keys, I believe, right here. He put them in the floor, so we do have keys. It's pretty cool. Love having that. Makes life easy. You don't have to start drilling stuff and hot wiring stuff. Really like that. That's a luxury. Then I found this, which looks like a really random piece of stainless, but actually I know what this goes for. If you notice right here how the paint changes, this is a door guard. Let's see if I can get it. We don't have to put it on all the way, but it goes on there like that, and it's like a stainless steel door guard, so when you open your door you don't ding the pane or whatever. There's one on all the other doors, see right here. Coming around to the back seat, we do have the fender skirts that came with it, so I love having fender skirts. That's really cool. Back seat with the handles, the grips. That's pretty cool. I like that. Oh yeah, that's sweet right there. Got your armrest or a kiddie seat. Sweet. Headliner's in it, but you know how that goes. It's falling down and everything. It's not in bad shape, but not in savable shape either. Let's check the old ashtray. Look at that. There was still a cigarette in there. One lone cig. Check this out on the front door. These are some old service stickers, you know, from back in the day when the gas station would service your car. It's hard to make out what it was, what brand. See, this was probably one big sticker right here, and then this was the logo of whoever it was. I can't make it out. 90-day oil, it says right there, 90-day oil. For something added, something we recommend 90-day oil changes probably. And then whoever that was, if I could see the middle, I could make it out, but I don't know. But look at this door though. Beautiful. All the lines match up. Shuts awesome. Imagine lining all these creases up if you took this thing apart to restore it. Imagine having to line all that up. What a nightmare that would be. Best thing to do is just don't take it apart. Look down the side of this thing. It is just perfect almost. I mean, not a dent in it, not a crease in it, just age. You know, just age. These are good. Not banged up. The trim is just straight as an arrow all the way to the rear bumper. I mean, really nice. I think this said sedan DeVille, but the rest of the emblem's gone or whatever. Look down here at the rockers. Look at that. Solid, solid, solid. Down at the bottoms of the doors, all the way. I mean, it's just solid. No rot anywhere. The trunk lid coming in the trunk. I do have 2 spare rims, and I have all 4 hubcaps. Got the air cleaner right there. You can see some of the original markings on it. The trunk, look at that. Just clean. Absolutely clean. Coming all the way back here. We've had cars where this whole section is just daylight. You can see all the way to the ground. Nothing. Solid as a rock. All the wiring, even the grommets for the lights and everything. I mean, the whole wiring harness is there. Yeah, see the emblem, the full emblem's on this side, sedan DeVille. Yeah, the other one's just broke off. But again, the passenger side, basically perfect. If you can look past the surface rust, which is not a big deal, it's very straight, very clean, super solid. I just love it. I love it, I love it. And another thing I saw on this trunk I want to show you before I just keep going is some of the original jacking instructions are here, the paper. Set parking brake and wedge wheel. Place wedge block. Locate jack. Hook under bumper as shown. Blah blah blah. Owner's manual shows you pictures of the car and where to put the jack. I love that kind of stuff. I love seeing that original paperwork. I guess looking at the trunk, you can see the car used to be white, some kind of off-white. You can see a remnants of it on the back here. So yeah, this car was originally like an off-white car. I wonder if the top was a different color or if it was like, you know, one color or two-tone. Not sure. This car sits pretty low to the ground, so it's hard to get a good look under here, but here's the floors. Again, that's the undercoating. That's the factory undercoating right there on the front floor and the rear floor. And there's not even an offering of rust holes. So I believe we've checked the car out enough. Let's start digging into this thing and, you know, see what we find. Maybe throw a battery in it. He said that the engine turned over by hand, and I usually don't take people's words for things, but the car was so clean, I kind of just chose to believe him, but I haven't actually tested that theory out for myself yet. So this has a fan clutch, so I'm actually going to have to get down on the crank. Oh yeah. It turns. See the power steering pump? The only test battery I have is in my 48 Chevy that Dad and me did quite a few videos on. I really like this truck. I've been driving it around. I've been enjoying it, taking it to, there's a local car show at a fast food joint that I go to, and this truck has been a lot of fun. Actually, now that we put that brand new 235 in it, this thing is super solid. And this truck got a lot of views too. A lot of people like this truck. They're good looking trucks. At least the battery cables are there. That thing barely fits. Let me check the oil. I haven't even checked the oil in this thing. Where's the dipstick? As far as oil goes, it's full. Smells just like oil. Nothing else in it. Hold on. Let me wipe it off and check it again. Yep. So we're just below the full mark. Looks just like oil. Doesn't look like there's water in there or fuel or anything. It smells all right. So, you know, if it runs good, we'll change the oil out. We'll do it right. We'll do her justice. We'll do exactly what she needs. I've been spraying this carb linkage down, and I'm not getting any luck with that. So the first thing we're going to need is our accelerator pedal. Spark plug wire number 1 on the distributor is gone. Let's check the tranny fluid. Yeah? Smells like a hair bit off. I mean, still red though, a little maroon color, but it's got tranny fluid. I'm curious about something just for funsies, you know, since this thing has air conditioning and all this good business. I wonder if this thing still has any Freon in it. This hasn't been converted to 134, I can tell by the ports. No, it's empty. I mean, I expected that, but I just thought it'd be fun to give it a whirl, see if any pressure came out. What happens is you know, sometimes these hoses will leak. They'll leak at the crimp or whatever. They just get old, but these seem to be in pretty good shape. Where they're gonna leak is after a long time of not being ran, the front seal in the compressor gets dry. There's a seal literally in the front of this, and it'll start leaking Freon like here at the front of the compressor. The evaporators and condensers on these, they're pretty tough. I'm probably not leaking there. Or it's going to leak over here at this vacuum operated situation I'll show you. I've actually dealt with these before. They suck. See that diaphragm right there? And it's screwed. It's got like screws that hold it in, back up in there. So that's some kind of hokey vacuum operated metering system. But what happens is those vacuum diaphragms give out, and there's little parts in there, and then it starts leaking out of that vacuum diaphragm. I had the same issue on a 64 Caddy limousine I had, which had a crazy system. So this was a limousine where it had air conditioning up front, it had the vacuum diaphragms under the hood, the air conditioning lines ran 20-some foot back, had rear air, and it had vacuum things in the back. I mean, the evaporator was in the back. It was a total nightmare. I tried to get it working, but it was a fool's errand, and I can see the same kind of stuff, you know, remnants of that on this 62. Just coming out here to my junk pile, seeing if I got any spark plug wires I can rob for now. Just need one, the only thing I know of that's got a few for me to... These are too short. They are not gonna work. I can tell right now just by looking at them. All right, let's figure something else out. Let's just see what happens, what comes on. Didn't hear anything. Let's see if anything comes on. Oh. Oh, is that the signal? Hear one. I don't see the light though. Oh, it's probably supposed to be blinking on the fender. That's why it's not in the cab. Wow, sure enough. Sure enough. That's cool. Look, both of them are blinking. Sweet. Let's see about the other one. I hear it blinking a little faster, which probably means a light is out. So we got these two. No, I see it. You see it? Right there, barely. Huh, I wonder why it's blinking so fast. I don't see this blinking. I heard it pop. Oh, I see the light. Sometimes they need to warm up. I'm not sure if they were transistorized in 62 yet or if it was still tube. Transistors don't need to warm up. Tubes. Oh, unbelievable. Oh my gosh, and it sounds good. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
About a mile or two. Not heavy, but it is a bit of a slowdown in that area.
I'm impressed.
I want to talk to you about air.
Horn? I heard the relay. Hear it? Horns must, I can hear the relay. Let's try the crank. Let's see if we can park. A little slow, but it's there. Let's see, do we got power seats? I don't know if those are supposed to work with the key on or what. Not getting anything. Door lock? No. I don't know, I gotta have to find the fuse panel on this thing. I hear something kicking on. Might be the AC compressor. Let's see if we got lights. Looks like we have headlights. Yeah, high beams are on. Getting both, all four. Let's check the back. Oh yeah. No doubt, we're getting headlights and tail lights and signals. I wonder if we have reverse lights. I bet that's a lost cause. I never get reverse lights. Let's turn these off. Let's put this thing in reverse. Yeah, no reverse lights. Oh well, we're doing pretty good for where we're at. So this accelerator, what's going on here? What? Free it up. I don't want to break it. Just a little ease. Yeah, that might have to come off of there. Yeah, I know why it's stuck. This is gonna have to come off. Yeah, take a look at that. See all those rat turds in there? They're way down in there. Good thing I didn't get those butterflies open, because that would have went straight down in the engine. That rat piss and turds is why it's stuck. I just want to show you guys how really untouched this car is. It's crazy. I think I'm the first one to be doing any of this, and I'll give you a few reasons here. So when I pulled the plastic off, well, the spade connectors, I should say, off of this solenoid, I mean, they just, you know, crumbled in my hand, and nobody could have done that before me without breaking them, because I was delicate with them, you know. They just turned to dust. And what this solenoid does actually is it's for your air conditioner. I have it on my 56 Caddy. And whenever you engage the air conditioner, it sends power to this, and this is just a big diaphragm plunger, and it moves back and it idles up your entire engine to compensate for the load of the air conditioner, because they took a lot of power to run back in them days. So it was basically just a, you know, idle upper. Tore that gasket up. Definitely gonna need a gasket kit for this now. Yeah, half of it came off on the carb, so all right. And honestly, it was better that we took the carburetor off like this anyway, because with to get a good compression check, which is probably what we're gonna do next, the throttle plates being closed can give you a bad reading on your compression, because air isn't getting down into the cylinders, you know, with the throttle plates so shut. Could mess up your reading on compression. And two, you wouldn't have wanted to open up those throttle plates anyway, because you would have had all that stuff just fall right down into the motor. We'll take these spark plug wires off, plugs out, check them, look into the cylinders, maybe do a compression check, so we know that rebuilding the carburetor is not going to be a fruitless effort. If we've got zero compression, you know, we got bigger problems. Should probably unhook this battery too. It's not good to just, you know, it could have fire. Got some old champions on there. We got cylinders 1, 3, 5, and 7. They all look good. They all have a pretty even burn. None of them are rusty. Sometimes you'll take these out and you'll get good, boom, full of rust, just crud. They all look pretty even. Look, I like it. And then over here we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. All look the same. pretty even burn, just sooty. I mean, that looks good. I mean, I'm pretty confident this motor's good. So we'll keep going ahead. Let's do a compression check, see where we're at. See what we're at. 45 psi. Well, at least it's got it, and it'll probably pick it up as you go along and, you know, trifle with it. Cylinder 6. Just a hair below 60. Oh boy, here we go. I thought it was gonna be higher. You guys hear that? That knocking, that boo, boo. What is that noise? Oh, I don't like that. 60. Cylinder 2. Zero. Oh, 0, 0. I can hear it sparking. It's kind of weird. Is the key on? I don't know. Key's not on, but I heard something that sounded like spark. Cylinder 1. 30. Oh my gosh. Wow, I had higher hopes just because of how clean everything is and spark plugs. I thought that, oh yeah, it's gonna be a cinch. Nope. Could have some valves stuck or rust or something in there, I don't know. Cylinder 3 is at 60. A little bit above. Still not good. Hair bit above 60. Yeah, so far this motor is not gonna run. Not going to run. Cylinder 5. $75. Cylinder 7. You had 80 on that one. That's okay, but you want them all to be above 100, you know, I mean, that's pitiful. Oh man, we're gonna have to start thinking of some different things here. So I wanted to get the borescope out on the cylinder that had 0 compression to just see if I could see anything of importance. And after looking in there, I really don't see a whole lot. I mean, it actually looks really good. The head of the piston looks good. It's in there. The cylinder walls look good. There's no real rust. I mean, I poked the camera in there and just seen what looked like someone threw a handful of rust in the cylinder and put the head back on. And the walls look good. The head of the piston looks good. There's like a tiny bit of rust right here at the bottom, but nothing major. I'm kind of conflicted on what to do about taking the valve cover off, because in my head the piston looks so good that take the valve cover off could be valves sticking or a bent push rod, but at the same time, if you open it up and everything is good, then you know that the piston rings are froze, and you just wasted all that time taking all this apart and off. So I'm kind of at a crossroads. I'm not sure, because I don't want to take this whole thing off, because it is a lot there to take off. And of course you're going to break the valve cover gaskets taking that off, so you'll need to buy those, because those are going to come off in your hands in a million pieces. I think in the interest of saving possibly some time and a lot of effort taking that stuff apart, I'm just going to pour this mixture down the cylinders, Marvel, diesel, and acetone. Pour them down the cylinders, see if we can bring up the compression on the ones we have, and maybe we can start getting compression on that cylinder over there. And then if all else fails, you know, then we'll do that. good measure, you know, I'll pour some down throttle plate holes, get it on top of the valves, helping it out. Alright, that's enough. We flooded it. So while that's marinating, we'll go ahead and take this carburetor apart because I'm still confident we can get it running, even though she's a little sloppy. She's a little sloppy. Even though cylinder 2 has absolutely nothing going for it, the other 7 could probably get marginal enough to run, and then if we run it, the other one might pick itself up. So, you know, I'm not giving up hope. Sometimes there's always a hidden one that you never see. Sometimes it's in the middle. See the accelerator pump. Oh, just kidding. I thought it was froze too. All the screws are out, I think. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. See, there's always a sneaker. Well, yeah, it's definitely needed. Had to come apart. All that powdery crap, rat turds, all this chalkiness in here, and just, yeah, it's needs a rebuild. It's time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clean the carb overnight because it's really filthy. I had a heck of a time. I know it was on time lapse, so you really didn't see it, but all this stuff was just stuck together, wouldn't come apart. I was scared I was going to break it. You know, these little jets and these venturis and these secondaries and all this, that, and the other. So anyway, we're going to put all this in a bin. We're going to use our own carb clean. Now, the EPA in their infinite wisdom have determined that anything that works must be banned. So I figured it was a waste of time getting Berryman's Chem Dip. That's the only stuff I think that's available is that Berryman's Chem Dip or whatever else they have. It's not going to work. And there's been tons of people, my dad and plenty of other mechanics can attest that it used to work, but it doesn't now. So I've heard some good stuff about Pine Sol. I was looking stuff up, you know, what else can I use, and I heard a lot of people say that Pine Sol is not a bad alternative. So we're going to give Pine Sol a shot, and then we're going to turn this little bin here into an ultrasonic, what do they call those? Supersonic, ultrasonic? Those vibrating ones?
Yeah, that's us.
Ultrasonic cleaner, and I'll show you how we're going to do that here in a minute.
I don't know about that diesel. It might cut the cleaning effect of it. The acetone might be alright. That's just more of a...
We're going to use some acetone.
Whoa!
I don't know. I don't like what that stuff's doing. It's starting to look like spider webs. Alright, well maybe this ain't a good idea.
No, maybe that's just the acetone.
But look at what it's doing. It's turning it into gum and spider webs.
I think that's just that acetone.
And then that last little bit was Marvel, diesel, and acetone again. So this is the ultrasonic part.
I don't know about that.
It's coming. It's coming. Hold on.
I think I just let it soak.
There it is. Your homemade ultrasonic, supersonic, whatever they call them, vibrator cleaners you can buy. We'll just give that a whirl. And also, because the condenser makes heat, I don't know, you might get a little benefit from the heat.
Yeah, I knew it. Stick that gauge in there real quick.
So it's still the same day. I haven't waited overnight or anything, so we'll see what. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100.
100.
Brought it up to running condition.
Substantial.
Yeah.
Substantial.
90.
Good.
Much better, much. Huh, that one cut out at 50. And that I'm
You
liking
have the
that.
key on? I hear it sounds like it's sparking.
That's what I'm saying, but the key's not on. I was saying that earlier. I said, man, it sounds like it's sparking, but key's off. All right, so this was the one with 0. Yeah, 2, right? Okay, all right. 70. 80.
I think it's a runner because these over here weren't too bad.
Yeah, see, I got to 80 on that one. See? See what I didn't, I played the odds and I won. Because I was saying earlier, I was about to be taking all this off.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know, maybe I could do it without that. And there we go, we got it. Heck yeah. We're getting about 75.
Well, a guy might douse it down with some more diesel fuel tonight or something.
Yeah. We're not even getting barely 30.
That's odd because I had my finger on it and it felt like it was getting compressed.
Yeah, we're getting 20 on that one. I'm not sure how that. I don't remember it being that low last time. 90. This is a lot better than the first time. Other than this number 1, I don't know what happened there. Maybe a rat turd got stuck in the valve and's holding it open or something.
Turd.
Seriously.
Turds will do it every time.
Yeah. 90. 100. Yep.
It's gonna run.
It's gonna run, yeah. Okay, last cylinder. Cylinder 7, second try. 75. That one's a little better.
I think it'll start running better once it's dry. I mean, there's no telling how many years this car's been sitting in. From the looks of things, it looks like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
From what I can see, because see, look, you see this, you see that cap?
Yeah, I saw that. I showed that in the video.
That's old. That's a green Texaco. That's from the 70s.
So what I'm gonna do right now is just put a little bit more in the cylinders before I go on to something different. We'll let the carburetor do its thing overnight, and we'll let this soak overnight, and just helping it out as much as we can. So it's the next day now. I've had the carburetor and the supersonic cleaner overnight, air conditioner running, vibrating it and everything. We'll just let it sit in there a little bit longer. In the meantime, I have got the tires and rims off. We're going to put some white walls on it. Dad actually had an extra set of white walls he's been trying to sell for a little bit, and they're 15s and these are 15s, and I said, well, I'll just buy the white walls off of you. White walls are kind of hard to get your hands on, so it'll make the car look better. It'll make the car a more sellable item. White walls just make these cars look really good. So Now, I'm not spraying this soapy water on the tire to save the tire from possibly getting damaged. I'm spraying it on there to help easy on the machine. Not to overwork it if I can. Take a look at that. Doesn't it make this thing look so much better? I just have them mocked up on there right now. Set the hubcaps on, set the wheels on. They're not bolted to it, but man, that is killer, dude. That is such a killer look. White walls look so good on these cars. You can't convince me there's a better wheel and tire combo than original rims, original style hubcaps, and white walls. To me, everything else is second rate. I don't care. People put, you know, those 20-inch, $5,000 rims on them, spoke rims. These cars look top tier with white walls and caps. Just does not get any better. I love that. Absolute perfection. You know, just like my truck. I don't have caps on it right now, but you know, some decent looking rims, just steelies, you know, just steelies. Some good looking white walls. Again, the 56. Now I kind of went a little over the top. I did get spoke rims, but it's justifiable because those are original Kelsey Hayes Eldorado rims, so that is acceptable. They're not like aftermarket fancy, you know, chrome spoked or 22s or 20s or whatever. I mean, that is an original Cadillac Eldorado rim. The Model A out there, white walls. The 48 Chevy that's behind that building, white walls. Everything deserves a set of white walls if it's like pre-1980. I'm gonna check out the brakes to see what I gotta order, and the carburetor is still soaking, and last night before I went in I put the concoction, more of the concoction in the cylinders and everything. I would be working on the carburetor right now. I know I keep opening up a can of worms and then going on to the next and the next. Now we're taking the brakes apart, but I'm trying to get a list of parts to order from online. I don't know what your guys' luck is with your local parts houses, but you know, around here, you call them, got a carburetor kit. First of all, they might not know what a carburetor is. Second off, they never have it. Even basic stuff, you know, points, carb kits. And then if they do find one, it's $70 and you can get it online for $35. I mean, we've called and they don't even know what an ignition, like an ignition switch is. What is that? They got to get a manager for what an ignition switch is. There we go. Shoes are wearing pretty thin. I mean, they would work, but it's pretty thin. Pretty thin. Everything in here looks good. Wheel cylinder not leaking or dust coming out, you know, so they're probably froze up. Gonna have to do that, because the moment that somebody at a parts house says, yeah, well, we got it, but I gotta order it, they just lost the battle, because I could order it online and have it delivered to my door for half the price that they're gonna get it for me.
What was it O'Reilly said? They wouldn't have it till
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
A carb kit next Thursday, and it was $60 plus $14 to ship it that I had to pay.
$15.
14, $15 to ship it.
And then he gave you the option to overnight.
And then he said, he said, well, or we could overnight flight it. And I said, no, don't even give me the price for that. I'm not looking to spend $1,100 on an overnight flight for a $15 carb kit. So where we're at right now is we're waiting for parts. Yesterday, I placed a big order for stuff that I need for this car, carb kit, brake stuff, hoses, belts, you know, a bunch of other stuff, all that good business. So Dad is about to come over with a treadle vac. It's like a master cylinder booster kit for a 57.6 Oldsmobile, and we're gonna rebuild that in the meantime. Still got the carburetor soaking. But before he gets here, I just gotta tell you something. So remember yesterday how I was talking about parts houses? So this happened yesterday, mind you. There's no air filter for this car. I have the housing, but I don't have the air filter. It's just gone. Rock Auto doesn't have it. So I called up AutoZone. I said, do you guys have an air filter for this car? The guy searched around and he said, well, I don't have an exact one, but I have this one and it's close. Measurements are close, you know. I said, okay. And he said, I'll put it out for you. I'll put your name on it, and come in here and check it out and maybe get it. I said, yeah, that's fair enough. If it fits in the box, you know, I'll get it. I said, what's your name? He said, Carl. I said, all right, man, cool. I'll be in a couple of hours. Seemed like a helpful guy. I said, that's great. So the phone call was placed at 2:28. At 4 o'clock, I was in there. So an hour and a half later, I walk in the building. All three people are at the thing. I say, hey, is there a Carl here? He put an air cleaner out for me. And they looked at me like I just shot their mom. Carl? I said, yeah, Carl. You know, is there a Carl here? I said, no, there's no Carl here. I said, well, was there a Carl here? Is there a Carl that works in the building, like, at all, ever? And all the other people, he looked at the other people, and there's no Carl here. I said, all right, well, either way, did someone set an air cleaner out for me out here somewhere? No. There's no air cleaner. No one set an air cleaner out, nothing like that. He said, there's a guy named Czar. He left at 1 o'clock, though. I said, no, I called at 2:28. I have the phone log in my phone. And just to make sure, there's like 3 AutoZones in town. I said, is this the store number for your guys' joint? 520, yada, blah, blah, blah. Is that the number? Looked at the paper. Yeah, that's the number to the store. Yeah, that's our number. So I walked out without an air cleaner. I mean, what was that? Where did the phone call go? What the heck happened? Did I call Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone? I mean, did that phone call go to the Bermuda Triangle? I verified it was that store phone number. Walk in, no Carl, no one's ever heard of a Carl, no air cleaner, no nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's just crazy, man.
You know what's cool about driving this car with no floor? When you get in it, you got some place to hook your boot. You can use it to keep yourself pushed back in the seat.
Keep yourself leaned back.
Yeah, you can keep yourself reared back in the car. You can use the heel of your boot and use it to push against the seat.
There you go.
There you go. What do you think of that?
Perfect.
Yeah, I like it. Listen how good that thing starts.
Starts up good, huh?
Yeah, for a free motor.
That's not even one full crank.
What's that?
That's not even one full crank.
No, that thing wants to start.
That's good.
Gauges work. Tip gauge, gas gauge, oil light works.
So this is like the first generation power brake system, okay? They don't call these power boosters, they call these treadle vacs, all right? So we all know what a master cylinder and a booster looks like. So here's your master cylinder and your, I guess it's got a dipstick, and here's your booster or your treadle vac. So this is sort of the first iteration of power brakes.
This, you have vacuum here, and when you push this, it opens up a valve and it lets vacuum pull. There's a diaphragm in here and it lets it pull it down that's where you get your assist at. We rebuilt about 12 of them.
Bendix products, South Bend. Oh, here it says it right there, treadle back.
Yeah, treadle back. This is off the 56, a very beautiful 56 Oldsmobile, 2-door
Hardtop convertible.
Very beautiful car. It's a little air filter. It's just a little horsehair air filter.
It's like what they used to put in those oil bath air cleaners.
Yeah.
Like horsehair.
There's not much to it. You got to kind of keep an eye on this because this doesn't come in the kit.
The horsehair thing?
Yeah. Look at how pliable that rubber still is after all them years. There's a gasket there. All right, hold on. Here.
Turn it over.
Hold on before you do that. No, there's a gasket there. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
All right, look at that. Oh, that's crazy looking.
See, you kind of want to make note of where this is because when this is working, this goes, see it goes down in there. You can actually move this around and then this will sit there and constantly rub against this. Just pull it off. Set that to the side. There we go.
Some brake fluid getting in there is not good, right? Some seals went bad. That's supposed to be dry in there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure the master cylinder went poo-poo.
Yeah, there's fluid in there.
Oh man, I had it. There you go. Should just push off. You get it?
Yeah.
Don't let it flip. I'm holding it. There we go. See how it's just full of trash and crap?
Well, that master cylinder went bad.
Yeah, the master cylinder's just went bad.
Let's take this bad boy off here. See that? Let's see. Where's my little picks? Goat cheese.
Yeah. It's what they look like a lot of times. I guess it's the reaction of that aluminum with the brake fluid.
So
Here,
this,
we can do that in the trash can.
this is the problem, you know. I mean, this stuff just ain't easy, right? You can't just put fluid in stuff and go, because you know what's in them wheel cylinders? This.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you got to watch out for with, say, flying drives. You know, people ask in the comments all the time, and I would like to do more flying drives, but you have to be really careful with what you do, because parts for this treadle vac aren't at parts houses. You know, you have to be extremely careful with the vehicles you choose to do. It's a big risk. So you get goat cheese in your master cylinder.
Anything, yeah. Anything probably 60 and after, 59, 60. Well, you can actually, there's a lot of if it was a mechanical master cylinder, not Hydro Boost, or not Hydro Boost, but treadle vac, you wouldn't have any trouble finding a master cylinder. But this, you can't just buy at the parts house.
Yeah.
It just ain't there.
And that's why when you see most guys doing flying drives, they're doing quote unquote easy stuff, like, you know, stuff out of the 70s, maybe the 60s, but you're hardly going to see anybody doing a flying drive on something out of the 50s. You're asking for trouble. So stuff out of the 70s and some stuff out of the 80s is really what, you know, look up all the flying drives people do. It's hardly stuff out of the 50s and early 60s. It's stuff 65 to 80.
It took me a while to get this figured out. This is such a cheesy setup. Whenever you let out on the brakes, see, this is obviously your reservoir. When this comes up, look, you see how that moves? It lets brake fluid in. And then as it goes this way, it stops it. But when it comes back to the rest position, it'll open up and let brake fluid come in. Ugh. It's bad too. In order to get this rod out of here, there's a seal that comes in the kit. Little booger. See if I can do this without flipping it. Got it. So, little snap ring comes out. See? That's all there is to it. And then
On that,
No, you don't hone it. It's positive displacement.
Something I was unaware of when I bought the car, which I guess is neither here nor there, was that the rear end of the drive shaft is not connected to the rear end, and the U-joint is messed up. Part of the caps are gone, and one of the straps that holds it in is missing, so I had to order all that stuff. But these cars, these X-frame cars, have a goofy design in my opinion, where they aren't a single piece drive shaft. They got a carrier bearing in the middle, which, I mean, this isn't a big rig, you know? I mean, what was all that about? Just because it was too long to do in one shot? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't like that they did that. These carrier bearings are obviously, they're in rubber housings, and I'm sure they're shot. So while we're doing we got to do the U-joint on that anyway, because I'm sure the rubber housing is toast. Because it was on that 60 Impala, if you guys remember, that flying drive I did last year. I made it, oh man, 2,000 miles, but I had to do the U-joint carrier bearing in Albuquerque, and then to make it the last 400 miles home. But really, it should have been done when I was in New Jersey. What in the world? Usually once they crack loose, they get easier. Look at all that dirt. Oh boy, look at that. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Here's the carrier bearing. See what I mean? You can't drive on that. So I was looking online and I really couldn't find one of these carrier bearings, so I hope I can find it somewhere. I took the carburetor out of the little concoction I made, and it cleaned it up actually really well. Looks a lot better, but the story does not get better. I got the primaries to open by hand, actually, no heat, but I couldn't get the secondaries to open. And then I took the 2 screws out to try and knock the throttle plates off to, eliminate the throttle plates sticking to the carb as part of the equation, but the 2 screws broke, and I tried to sort of hammer this out, this butterfly plate out, and I thought it was just laid on top and screwed on. Well, I ended up bending the rod. I guess there's a rod that goes through it, and I bent the rod. So this is toast now. So that was my fault. I messed it up. I'm not gonna be able to use it. But I have this other carburetor that I did have on that 1973 Dodge Camper Special. So we're gonna use this carburetor, and it didn't run quite right, so I think Dad's gonna take it apart and see what's wrong with it. It ran, it just idled real bad. So I think I'm gonna take it apart and clean it up and whatnot. So anyway, while that's going on, again, I got some brake parts in the mail, couple of wheel cylinders, not everything, some shoes. I got wheel seals, but they're too small, so I just ordered different wheel seals. Master cylinder, wheel cylinders. We'll bleed the master and put it on, bench bleed it and stuff. We're working on whatever we got parts for. Whatever's coming in the mail is what's getting put on. I ordered the bearing. I did find one on eBay. Ordered this drive shaft carrier bearing. So that should be coming in today. It's at the Tucson warehouse. So next thing I wanted to do is shove this borescope down into the gas tank to see if we have to take it out or not. Because if we don't have to, I really don't want to. And down here at the bottom, luckily there's no gas in it. There's a little bit of sediment down there, a little bit of leftover or whatever. The only thing I saw was like this back here, this little bit of tar, gas, varnish. But, if we put a lot of gas in it and a fuel filter, we should be all right. Someone in recent history has put a return and a feed line on here, so these don't need to be done. That's good. Makes me happy. That's less work on my end, and plus it's a pain getting those lines all open here. And we'll put the fuel pump on it. Actually, let's blow through the lines first.
Yeah.
All right. When I was blowing it through, I could see a mist coming from here. And if you see right here how it's wet, there's a pinhole right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I mean, I can't even hardly see it. But anyway, there's like a pinhole right here in the gas line. And instead of replacing the entire gas line or whatever, I might cut this out and make this the spot where we put the fuel filter, and that'll get rid of our pinhole. This is the original fuel pump. Here's like what they had as a fuel filter from back in the day, this glass bowl element type thing. And here's the new one, which actually looks pretty well built, if you ask me. I don't want to put the cart before the horse because it could give out 10 seconds after you start the car, but I mean, look at that. There's like 12 screws that hold that on. I mean, it's built just like the original. With all these screws where you can take the casing apart and rebuild it. I mean, it looks just like the factory one. I almost thought it might be a rebuilt original, but it's made out of aluminum, so I know that I don't think it is. But you can hear it working. I can feel it pushing air, so I know it works. But what I'm confused about is there is an inlet and an outlet to the carb. There's nothing else on it, but there's two fuel lines that come up here. So there's obviously a return line that goes to the tank, but I'm not sure where that is supposed to go. Where's the return line? I finished up right here with taking out that part of the line that had the pinholes in it and putting a fuel filter there. I mean, you got to cut it out anyway. Might as well make that spot where you put it. Got a new fuel hose coming up. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Got a new fuel line coming up from the hard line up to the new fuel pump to the sediment bowl. I was going to take that apart, but you know what? I just decided against it, and because I blew through it and it's free, and the second you take those bowls off, there's a cork gasket there and you're going to break it, and I don't have another one, and then it's going to leak, so just leave it alone. And then we got the fuel line. Dad took the carburetor apart and put it back together, cleaned it up, didn't really find much wrong with it. There was a little bit of junk, I think, in the jets, he said. We did the floats, we adjusted the floats and put it together. Put the throttle cable on and the TV cable for the automatic transmission. And the great thing about this Edelbrock is that it's literally just like that Carter. I mean, that Carter that was on it is what they used for the design of these Edelbrocks. So everything bolted up perfectly. You know, everything went on without a hitch, without modification. Typically what we do is, if we haven't started one of these, we'll just kind of run it with the old oil in it, see if it runs. But all that, oh, is this loose already? Oh man. With all that concoction that I put in there, you know, it all ran down from the cylinders down into the pan, and it hasn't ran through the engine yet. But if you start it and it pushes all that stuff around together, it's going to be it's all going to mix together, and then it'll be all over inside the motor, and you'll never get it all out. Come on, what is the problem? Get out of there. Oh gosh, I can smell it. That's strong. I know why this is loose. It's because it won't tighten.
What's that? Drain plug?
Yeah.
Is it stripped out?
But what's weird is it was holding oil. I'll just kind of do that. And, I don't know, it was holding oil. It never did drip.
Mick had a lawnmower. We was probably in the 7th grade, 8th grade, but me and Darren were still pretty mechanically inclined, you know. Me and Darren said, "Hey, you don't use that lawnmower no more?" He said, "No, I don't use it no more. It's broke." And they said, and me and Darren said, "Well, if we can get it going, can we ride it?" And he goes, "Yeah, but you have to wait till I have time to work on it." And we said, "Okay." And then he left for work. And me and Darren went out there and messed with it and bypassed the key switch. Man, we got that thing to work running, and you know, and he got home, and man, he did not think we was ever going to get that lawnmower running. And but we took the mower deck off of it, and man, we played with it and rode it for a long time. Old lawnmower.
You didn't think you could get it going?
No, he didn't think we'd get it going. He thought that was going to be the end of that. We got her going.
He's out there riding that lawnmower.
Yeah, riding that lawnmower.
Inside of the cap looks pretty clean. Oh my gosh. Trunk light's on.
Really?
That mercury switch is working.
That's impossible.
Look at that. As you close it, that mercury should flow. Yeah, see, that mercury is like water. It's going back and forth, back and forth. Close it, should shut off. That's cool.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can hear it sparking.
Real good. That's awesome. Yes, sir. It's getting good spark.
Don't forget to put the rotor on.
Oh yeah. Good idea. That would be a good idea.
Why is it sparking out the coil and not the spark plug? Probably ought to turn this choke off.
Because if this thing does start, we can't run it long, so I still don't have the cooling system fixed, but I do want to know if it is charging, so we'll just set this voltmeter right here.
Oh, there ain't no regulator. There ain't no belt on it.
Huh?
There ain't no belt on it.
Oh. Well, that's a wasted effort.
Yeah. You gotta have that.
Hold on, I got a belt in the mail. I don't know if it's for the generator or not.
Was it just from some random person? You got a belt in the mail?
Yeah, somebody sent it.
Somebody just dropped you a belt in the mail.
So I did get the right of the two belts in the mail. So we'll put it on and tighten it up and see if it charges, if it starts. Doesn't even sound like it's trying. There's blow-by coming out of the cap here.
Well, hold it on your finger
No,
and try it.
I've done that.
Put it in the screwdriver.
Yeah.
You'll see it happen. Huh. Try a little bit of brake clean. That's good and flammable. Maybe she's fighting the compression issue. Kind of like that.
All right. Still not seeing anything in the sediment bowl, but it'll take a sec.
It just... She just got to get used to being an engine again.
It did its thing for a second there.
Yeah, it was trying.
Let me see if it'll crank from the key.
Hold on, stop. Something's smoking. I mean, big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
What is it?
It was this air conditioning wire.
Oh. She's being a butt. Yeah.
Can you see if it's charging?
Yeah.
Or we have to shut it off. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
13.6.
Yes.
Yeah. Says it's charging. A little bit of a mist to it. Might pick it up. Why that thing runs so good?
Why?
Because I did the carburetor.
That's right.
See if it'll start back up.
Okay, let's try it. How cool is that, huh? Cool.
Got a little bit of a mist to it, but that's probably just one of the spark plugs fouled out.
Yeah. That's a good bingo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. They're pretty typical about that lifter clacking, you know. I mean, even my green Caddy, you know, when you first started, it
Clicks and clacks.
clicks and clacks, and it clears up, you know.
Okay, we're all good so far. Huh.
Over here.
I don't know, they're all good.
No, over here. I think there's a relay. Maybe up inside here.
All right, after doing a little bit of digging, we checked all the fuses, they were good. I took off this kick panel on the driver's side door, and you know, I didn't really find anything out of the way. And then here is all the wires and doodads that go into the car, you know, from the door. Let me get this out a little bit. If you can see there, maybe zoom in, see that? Those wires got burnt in half. So I am sure that is our problem. In theory, one of these might have to cut away some, but there should be a pink wire in here that has power all the time, that feeds all the stuff. So let me do some more digging. Took the fuse panel down, and this was just dangling. This was just off to the side, and so there was no power here, but there was power here, and there's a spade here. So I said, all right, well, this is a pretty thick wire, and maybe it runs to the window seat stuff. So I plugged it in, and I came back over here. All right, so I'm gonna try and touch this wire. So here's the bottom red wire, the pink red wire, and then here's boom. There we go, we're getting constant power now. So probably what happened was this gave out in here. I don't know if it's from heat or opening and shutting the door, wore it out, I don't know. But either way, it was probably shorting out, blowing that fuse every time they'd pop a new one in, so they probably just got sick of it and unplugged that wire and just left it. So we'll have to put all, and this is in such a bad spot, we'll have to spade connect these back together, and then we can see if we got seats and windows. So I kind of did a hack job in there of soldering. It's just a bad angle to get to, and I didn't solder these yet because I just wanted to make sure I had them connected right. You could always untwist them and put them on a different lead, you know, if you have them connected wrong, but if you solder them, it's pretty permanent. So
That soldering, it's a myth out of the 60s, isn't it?
Well, I can never solder things right. Solder never sticks to anything I try.
It's just a myth out of the 60s.
So yeah, it's just something out of some old invention that never really worked. But no, it works. It works. Oh. That's crazy. Wow. That's cool.
Oh, this one here, the motor's running, but obviously the window's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not hooked. See, look,
It's not hooked. Yeah. Motor's running. Lights are on, but no one's home.
Nobody's home. I don't know. Will this one go up?
Wow. That's freaking cool. Obviously, it needs some lube. It's having a hard time, but it friggin' works. That's amazing.
I can help this one. Yeah, it just needs it. If you lubed it, it would be just fine. Yeah. Who wants to pull that door panel off?
Yeah. Oop, I hit the wrong one. We got 3 for 4.
Does this one work?
Let's see.
Ooh, watch out.
Help it up, yeah.
Maybe if you helped it up a little bit, up and down a little bit. All right, that's good.
Wow, so every window, well, they all work. The only one that doesn't is that vent window, and it's just something's unhooked in there. So they all work. Let's try the power seat.
Pinnacle of luxury.
And it was the Pinnacle. I can hear the... So I can hear it that way and that way, not that way or the other way. No power seat, but that's all right. We got, I mean, heck, you know, without having done much work, I mean, it's amazing how much of this still works. I mean, you guys saw earlier, the headlights work, the tail lights work, the turn signals work, all of the windows work, the power seat's trying to work, the radio. Yeah.
No, the automatic station thing.
Oh yeah, so this, okay, the radio works, yes, but let me show you something else that we just found this out. Let me turn this radio on. This has what you call a Wonder Bar radio. So you can use this up here to select your stations. Let's see. It's like your seek button. Look at that. You see it moving that needle? I think it's just a little stuck. See it?
Push that button in the floor.
But this is what's really cool. This one actually has a button on the floor along with the dimmer switch. Here's your dimmer. You can actually use this to control your friggin' station. Hear it cutting out? That's as if I could be driving with both hands on the wheel, never have to reach over and mess with that. That's for, you know, that's for peasants. I can do it with my foot while I'm driving without even reaching over there, if it would work. It's just a little stuck. Come on.
Just a minute ago it was working.
Yeah, well, it's working. It's just a little.
I thought it might work better with the battery charger on.
Let's try and start it up one more time. Look at that. What a good car. Got a misfire. We'll figure that out later. And I wanted to give you guys one last update. Here is that treadle vac. Dad finished rebuilding it. You can see it's all back together. Here's where your vacuum line goes in. Connects to your brake pedal, your dipstick, reservoir, all that good business. Tape cover in the hole where your line screws in. and it's all clean and painted, and the filters back on it, all that. So it's ready to put on and ready to use again.
And one more quick thing, whenever you put these together, basically all this is just a vacuum port that goes inside that valve inside there. And you can, doesn't matter, you can suck air through here, and when you push this initially, it lets vacuum into the bottom of this chamber, and it helps your vacuum assist. That's how it works. Yeah. And that works. I checked it, and it works. They're pretty durable.
Well, we pulled it out of a desert in Nevada. Nevada, what am I saying? We pulled this car out of a desert in New Mexico, and this thing has not ran in, for sure, 25, 30 plus years. Long time. And we got it back, you know, had some trouble at the beginning with the compression, but we ended up getting it running. Runs pretty dang good, other than that one dead miss, which I'm sure we'll be able to get that straightened out. I'm really amazed at how much of this stuff works after sitting for so long in the sun, neglected. It almost just reminds me of that movie Christine, you know. It's just like calling out, you know, like, oh, I want to live again. I got a few more good days left in me, you know, don't shove me out to pasture. So we didn't do that, and who knows if we wouldn't have got a hold of it, if it would have ever gotten saved or rescued. So the next video, I think we'll actually be able to drive it. I wanted to in this video, but there's just too much going on. I don't have all my parts yet. I'm still working through the brakes and the drive shaft and stuff, and this thing's it's getting into overtime. So there will be a part 2 on this car, and we will drive this thing around. I mean, look, I already got the white walls for it. I mean, I can't let it die now. I can't let the Vision die now. You know, me and Dad always appreciate it. We're very grateful. Your guys' views is what helps us to be able to continue to do this stuff, you know, from the YouTube ad revenue program or whatever. So, and we will see you in the next one.